I'm Dr. Ben Edwards, and I'm a lecturer in Archaeology and Heritage at Manchester Metropolitan University.
What sort of technology have you been using?
We've been investigating cut marks, prehistoric art essentially, on top of rock outcrops. And we've been doing that through photogrammetry, which is a way of making 3D models of objects or surfaces or whole landscapes by using overlapping photographs, which are combined digitally to produce a 3D model. We've also used on those cut marks laser scanning equipment to get a really highly detailed, very highly detailed, to sub-millimetre accuracy of the cut marks. And we've also used that inside the burial chamber of the monument as well, because there's some carved art of very unknown date on the inside. It probably isn't prehistoric, but we don't know, so an accurate model will help us investigate its shape and so on. We've also been undertaking auger coring of an old stream channel between our excavation and the Bryn Celli Ddu monument itself, to see if we can pick up any environmental record of what was changing in the immediate locality, and we'll see what those results show. Around the monument itself, we're doing a combination of geophysical survey techniques too. So one of the, I don't know if I'd go as far as call it a mystery, but one of the things about this site is that the original excavator recorded a potential henge. So that's an internal ditch with an external bank, which is the wrong way round if you think about defensive things, you know. Well, we've got the ditch here at Bryn Celli Ddu, but there's supposed to be a bank, a sort of encircling bank, encircling mound outside it. So we're using a combination of two types of geophysics, which is electrical resistance tomography, which involves putting an electrical current through the soil to measure, essentially it measures the resistance of the soil based on the amount of water it's got in it. So things like mounds generally have a higher resistance because they have a lower water content, whereas filled-in ditches have a lower resistance because they've got more water in it. So hopefully the henge bank will be picked up on that survey. We're also using ground-penetrating radar to augment that technology because it works in a slightly different way. We're also using that in the next field over because it's a record of on the historic environment record maintained by Gwynedd Archaeological Trust of another potential burial monument that's now completely gone, visible only as very slight undulations in the field. So we'll soon be doing GPR over that to see if we can pick up some subsurface remains of that as well.
Has this technology made archaeology more straightforward?
It's made it more complicated. It's allowed us to do a lot more things and investigate a much greater array of elements of the past. So the environmental sampling we're doing will now tell us about the local environment potentially at the time. It'll actually give us an idea of how the environment changed over time. The geophysics is useful because it allows us to investigate the existence of sites without digging them up. So of course archaeology is inherently destructive because once you've dug something up it's gone, whereas geophysics allows us at least to understand something about a monument even if it's buried.
You're listening to Science Cafe on BBC Radio Wales, and this week we're